Welcome into another episode of Kollectiv Knowledge. I am your host, Shane Barrett. You can find me on Twitter at FFShaneB. And joining us tonight is the host of the Dynasty Hot Sauce Pod and an expert ranker and just an overall great guy, funny guy that is entertaining
Hey,
in this community. It is Mr. Larry Monkey himself. Larry, how are you doing tonight, my friend?
hiyo, yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I'm doing wonderful, especially now that I'm on the fantasy collective, and
Yeah.
yeah, man. Appreciate coming on with you and talking some fantasy football, baby. Let's rock and roll. Let's do it. Yeah.
I love your energy, Larry. Seriously.
Hey,
Makes
man.
my day anytime you are around because
It's
of just how
Tuesday.
energetic you are.
It's Tuesday, man. Look how happy Zach Wilson is. Over my shoulder. He's having a blast. But we both are very happy to be on here. You could see, the excitement in our both of our smiles. So
Absolutely. So Larry, I don't know if you've caught this yet, but the whole point of this was to allow me to get to know people within the fantasy community better, kind of outside of fantasy football, like what got you started. Um, and so it's been, and then share that with my followers and our YouTube channel. So make sure you like and subscribe on the Fantasy Football Collective YouTube channel.
hey,
But that's the whole point of this show. And so before we get into it, though, got to pay the bills. And we're going to hop into a little quick ad read here. So Thrive Fantasy is a daily sports app, daily fantasy sports app, and esports app for player props. It is super, super fun and easy. You choose 10 out of the 20 available player props to build your lineup, and then you pick two ice props as well in case of emergency. So like if Dalvin Cook for some reason misses the game, they're going to cover their own butts a little bit and make you have another prop to pick on that. But each prop is assigned a fantasy value for both the over and the under based on how likely it is to hit. Some of those will actually be exactly the same. I've had a handful that have been is 100 points, under is 100 points. So it almost makes it a little easier for me to choose those because I'll go with the under on those more likely than not. So the whole point is you hit the most props, you rack up the most points to win a share of the prize pool. And it's actually really easy to win. I think yesterday was the only day that I haven't won anything so far in just a couple weeks of the NFL season. So use code FFShaneB when signing up. You'll get a 100% first deposit match on your first deposit with Thrive Fantasy. So come prop up and play today on the App Store or Play Store. And Larry, thanks for sitting through that.
prop it up, baby. Prop it up.
So before we or no, now we are ready to hop into the show. So the first question, this is the first question I ask everybody. When was your first fantasy football league? When did that start?
Oh, well, I'm an old timer, so we're going back to the late 90s. And a buddy of mine got into fantasy football. We kind of talked through that first season. Then we got into a random public Yahoo league, probably in like 1997 or 1998. And it was just like the smack talk in this league with complete strangers all over the country, dude. It was hardcore back then. Internet is just like chat rooms are kind of like the new thing. It's just way back there, way
Yeah.
back there. But yeah, man, Terrell Davis won me my first title that year he went off.
Nice.
So yeah, I was hooked ever since. My buddy would come by with the DirecTV box, and I had a satellite. We get it situated, and we'd have two TVs over my my townhouse. So yeah, man, good times
Awesome.
back in the day.
Very cool. So
Yeah.
here's the question. Is that league still going?
Yes. Yeah. The league is called Damage Inc. It's been going since that time. I mean, there's been folks that have come and gone, but there's, the core, I guess you could say the core four, there's
Okay.
probably 4 or 5 guys. It's been as small as 10 teams. It's been as big as 12. I don't know if we ever made it to 14, but yeah, man, it's it's the OG league. So,
Awesome. 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 So what are the league settings for that league?
all right, well, going back into the old days, they were just basic standard settings. No PPRs, everything was just kind of like very vanilla. But now there are a couple dynasty folks in it that have evolved. At Ike the Pug, at Ike McNorman, one of my good buddies, TH. He was that guy that would bring by the DirecTV box back then.
Nice.
But yeah, man, yeah, this is our league, so it's now a super flex. There's no tight end premium. There is a defense still, so it still has that home league, stink.
Kind of vibe.
Yeah, that home league stink on it. I still don't understand why there isn't a tight end premium. They just moved to sleeper, so
okay, very nice.
Yeah, so that is that's I'm almost out of all my Yahoo leagues. This has always been a Yahoo league. I think we may have tinkered with like a CBS one year here or there, but ESPN, I think we may have tried different sites over the 20 something years that this league's been around. But right now we've landed on sleeper. Plenty of league drama. We've had one guy that's a big baby. Yeah, he's not even in the league anymore, and we had two guys fall asleep in the middle of the drafts, and I don't know. It's all the drafts have just like ended, and we've had to like redo them another day.
Oh my goodness.
Now this is back when it was Christmas Day, draft day. This was back then. You only were in one league, two tops.
Yeah.
So we'd all go over somebody's house because everybody was local. Now everyone's all over the country. But bring your magazine, and that's how it was back then. It's a lot different now. So now it's sleeper, and now it's a slow draft. It's a slow draft, which is cool. You don't have to deal with that dumb timer. Like a 2-minute timer. You're like sitting there, and all you're staring at is the Yahoo ADP, and it's you're like, oh man, whatever, man. It is what it is. It's a home league. It's still rocking. I think sleeper may have kicked it in the butt a little bit.
Cool.
Everyone there's clearly there's a lot of old guys in this league, and sleeper gives you all those colors and stuff. Old guys like color. Different colors.
I love sleeper, man. It's easily the best free platform out there, in my opinion. It's so user friendly too. I love it.
I have mixed emotions. It's got its plus and minuses. I still don't like the abbreviated name. Let me see the guy's first name.
Like David Moore and DJ Moore.
Yeah, dude. There's like a handful of guys like that. But
I'm trying to think of another one. I guess in theory, Tyson Williams and Tyrell Williams.
Yeah, I mean at one
probably
point
a lot more.
There were two Julio Joneses one time.
Oh my goodness.
It is what it is. Yeah. But like you said, it's free. So, I would be my, that would be in my most of my leagues are on MFL, but I do have a handful of redraft leagues and charity leagues like Polly's Playoff, and got my first victory, by the way.
Nice.
Last weekend. Yes, crushed finally.
Is your team hurting as much as mine is? Where because my former co-host of my podcast made me draft Tim Tebow with my second overall pick, and then J.K. Dobbins was my RB1. And so, are you hurting as much as I am in Polly's Playoff?
Let's take a look. I think I avoided catastrophe because I didn't. This was one of my later drafts. So as your drafts get later and closer to the season, you tend to have sometimes you have a little more. I'm gonna have some fun with this one. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I'm in a handful of charity leagues. So you like to play around a little bit. So yeah, I've Herbert, Barkley, Hunt, Ridley, Emmanuel Sanders, who I was all over.
Nice.
I got him everywhere. Tyler Boyd, Hawkinson, Keenan Allen.
You got a good squad.
Antonio Brown. Yeah, he's on the COVID list. And then Cousins is in my
I am shocked that you've only got I'm shocked based off of talent level that you've only got your one win.
Oh, well, I'm third in points.
Okay.
So,
that makes sense.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense. So
total points.
Next question for you, Larry, and I don't know how many leagues you're in. I'm not one to judge because I'm in a lot more than I probably should be. Yes. But let's say you're maxed out on leagues, but somebody comes to you and they've got one more league for you. It's your perfect settings. It's the only way you're joining. What are your favorite league settings?
Oh, I'm a tight end premium guy. Jack up the
Okay.
tight end premium. Give me a super flex, tight end premium, 14 team would be nice.
Oh, okay.
If we're gonna do that, PPR, I like points. More points the better.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
let's see. Yeah, tight end premium. No kicker, no D, none of that. I like return yards.
Okay.
Again, more
I do
points the
too.
better.
I like the return yards. I think if I remember correctly, in my home dynasty league, we get 0.1 points or 1 point for every 10 yards of return yards. So I like that aspect of it too.
Yeah, and this was in my home league. That it was changed when I guess when we transferred. You know, I guess what do you call it? Who's the man? Who's the guy that runs the league?
Commissioner.
The commissioner. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The commissioner has changed over the years in this league too. Like one guy's taken it over, other guy's moved.
Okay.
Anyway, one of my favorite stats is the pick six -4 for the pick six for the
Uh-huh.
QB. So
On
you get
on
minus
top
two,
of
right? So he throws like a reverse
yeah.
touchdown. You get the -2 for the pick, and then -4 for the pick
Yep.
six. Yeah,
I
that's one
think
of my. If I'm building a league, like that's a stat that I always have in there.
I think if I remember correctly, that's actually how I set up Polly's playoff too.
Oh, okay. You may
I don't
have.
I don't
I
I
remember
don't know
seeing
if
that in a
it's
few leagues.
as significant, but I know you get a little bit extra taken off if it ends up being a pick six.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I'm so into that because I'm the one that has Matt Stafford on my team. Who's like the
I do
king of the pick
too.
sixes. He's a pick six. He's the king of the pick six.
Yeah.
Guy's like third all time, I think, in pick sixes.
Wow, that's insane. We'll
Yeah.
blame that on Detroit.
Yes.
All right. So next question,
Mhm.
Larry, is when did you start making content for fantasy football?
Um, let's see. When I got into Twitter, when I really got on Twitter and started seeing a lot of stuff that was out there, and then just being like, I'm kind of doing this already. So
Yeah.
I took I joined the Fantasy Freaks. I don't know if you remember, they were around for a little bit, and I wrote a little bit for them, and then they kind of fizzled out, and I was like, I'm just writing things. It's yeah, I like talking. I got a big mouth. That's my jam. So
You said it, not me, Larry.
I started up the hot sauce pod, man, the Dynasty Hot Sauce pod at Dynasty Hot Sauce on Twitter.
Yes, sir. So, what made you kind of covered it there, but what made you start?
Okay, so I don't know, man. I mean, we're in this league. I'm on the Twitter scene. It's like a community, and
Mhm.
you're playing your part. I was really into player value, um, and I just gravitated toward player polls and posting them, and then I was just like, I'm a stay at home dad, so I have some not extra a lot of extra time, but I have some time where I don't see or in the off season, like when there's it's not summertime or anything. It's like a ghost town where I'm at right here, so it's just like you have time to kind of get into stuff.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I wanted to get into the writing and the research involved there, and just get my brain going again. And man, it's all I think about, man. Football.
awesome.
Just
Yeah,
it's a passion. It's a passion for us all. So
absolutely.
I wrote a handful of articles for them, and did rankings for them, and yeah, pretty much that they kind of, as a whole, I think just kind of folded, or they ran its course, or they took it as far as they could.
Yeah.
And I'd been planning the hot sauce pod the whole time, and I was just trying to figure out how to do a podcast, and
Yeah.
it's I started asking the right people, and got some help, got it up and going, and we've been sailing for solid almost 2 years now.
Awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So do you remember what your first piece of content was?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna split this into two questions.
Sure.
What was your first written piece of content? And then what was your first podcast episode on?
Okay. My first written piece of content was on Bobby Woods. Just
Nice. Bobby Trees.
Bobby Trees. So it was something centering around how my very first startup in a dynasty league. I drafted Bobby Woods in like the 27th round or 24th round or something like that, and then 5 years later I like traded for him, and now like won me a championship. It's something along those lines.
Cool.
And then so that was cool. That kind of just got me going. And then that was the same year Andrew Luck retired. So just did some
Oh
pieces there,
no.
and just your traditional puff pieces about certain players, here or there, and
Mm-hmm.
starts and sits and stuff like that. But yeah, Bobby Woods, baby.
Nice.
Podcast I was on. Oh God. I don't remember his name. It escapes me, but let me check it out here.
All
But
right.
the first podcast I was on, I guess, is that what you're talking about, or just one that I did
Yeah.
myself?
One more so, what was the first Dynasty Hot Sauce podcast episode?
Oh, first Dynasty Hot podcast episode was me and a league mate of mine. Excuse me, Brian Hooton, fishing for a win on Twitter. Dynasty Trades HQ, the first listener league.
Nice.
A lot of guys came out of that with podcasts, and are still in the league and stuff. It's a 16 team super flex, tight end premium. Drafted in 2018, and there's a lot of good. A lot of good guys in that league. You got the HQ guys. You got my partner Justin Rogers. That's where we met.
Very cool.
Yeah, Josh Valentine, the current champ from the real
Nice.
on the timeline, and you got Stompy, you got Swags and Outhouse, and
Oh
a bunch
my
of
goodness.
it's a cool it's a good
That's an
league.
OG. That's an OG
Yeah.
Twitter league right there.
Yeah. So we're rocking and rolling. Former champ. There's only
Attaboy.
been 3 winners. Madman won the first year, I just dropped an episode. I had Madman on because Justin has a great team this year, so he's been talking a ton of shit. My partner at Run DFF, Justin Rogers, he's been running his mouth. So I brought the Madman on. We had like 2 champs versus this guy that hasn't even sniffed the playoffs. He's coming out. This guy's been in. We have our league chat. And he's been he's been talking up a storm, man. The guy hasn't even sniffed the playoffs, not even once. Whatever.
Look, Larry, I'm going to be honest with you. If I win another game in my home dynasty league, I'm going to start talking some noise, because it's in year 3, I believe, and in year 1, I butchered. I didn't really butcher the startup draft. I butchered kind of my team management after that, and I made too many trades in the startup draft without knowing anything. Like I had no idea.
You just had like 10. You owned the 23rd round.
Yeah, pretty much. And so I had no idea what I was doing.
Zach Wilson loves that right now. He loves that. Look at him. He loves that.
Ended up having to blow it up and go with like the biggest rebuild ever. And now my team, despite losing J.K. Dobbins and Travis Etienne in the offseason,
yep,
I think I'm poised to at least make a playoff run. So if I continue to win, I'm going to start talking some noise, because I've been down in the doldrums trying to claw my way back into relevance.
Yeah, man.
So,
yep, you're either in or you're out. You're either building or You're contending.
Yep.
There's no in between, or if you have to think
Absolutely.
about it, that means you're rebuilding.
Yep. Absolutely. And that was kind of my thing too. Like, is I saw where my team was. We had a unique kind of standings that we use. It's similar to the English Premier League with a league table.
Oh yeah,
Um,
nice.
and the way that you like, so like a win is 3 points. And then if you're a top 6 scorer, you get a bonus point.
Okay.
Well, I was winning, but I wasn't getting any of the scoring bonuses. So I was right on the fringe of
Hmm.
making the playoffs and missing it. And I was like looking ahead. I was like, if I make the playoffs, even with this team, I'm going to get smacked around. So I was like, all right, boom, and blew it up.
Yeah, and
So
that's good. When you have a decent team and you blow it up, you're getting some equity.
nice
You're getting
value. Yeah.
assets. Yeah, you're getting great value.
So,
So that's the way to do it, right? You don't want to have a shit team because then you have nobody to trade.
yep. Yep. So, all right, that's enough about me. Uh, and this is the last fantasy question before we move, or even technically last football
Ooh,
question
hey.
before we move on to rapid fire. What is
Oh,
your favorite thing about the fantasy football community?
oh, what do I love about the fantasy football community? I don't know, man. It's a cool space for making friends, if that's what you want to do. There's a cool space for whatever you're looking for, I guess. You know.
Yeah,
Um whatever, and I'm not going to talk about all the dirt bags that are out there because there are quite a few, but I like to make friends. I don't really have anybody that I'm just like, oh, if they're coming on the show, I can't come on.
yeah,
I don't have any of those. I'm cool with everybody. Everyone knows that about me, hopefully. And we're an all inclusive podcast, so we love hashtag WOFF. We love having the women of fantasy football on the show.
absolutely,
Women and minorities. That's Black Lives Matter. We're all about that. So
definitely,
that's what the pod is all about.
awesome. I love that, and that's kind of been similar to the rest of the answers that I've gotten for that question. Is just the actual community of it, the making friendships that are lifelong, the like pooling together for charity and for different causes and things like that. And being an inclusive industry, it's been really cool to watch it grow and join it and be a part of it. So yeah,
Yeah,
love
it's
that.
its own niche, man. It's its own niche.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all nerds in this nerd space. And
Right?
really, it's what it is, and it's almost like I compare it to like the recess playground, and you have all your little, your little posses, and little crowds that are running in each section of the yard.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, first question that is outside the realm of football is, tell us a little bit about yourself outside of fantasy football. You mentioned earlier you're a stay-at-home dad. How many kids do you have? How many kids do you have? Um, and kind of just talk to us about what you do outside of fantasy football right now.
I have 1.5 kids right now
Okay.
because one is halfway a person. I don't know, man. I have a son that is allegedly due the first week of January. So
Ah, nice.
we are almost there. Yeah, I have my 6-year-old daughter and this little guy coming. So
Awesome.
lot of preparations are happening right now. The room is complete, and just throwing stuff out. We've had 6 years of just absorbing all of this girl crap over the
Uh-huh.
years.
Yep.
Um,
Hashtag girl dad here with you. So
yeah,
I know what you're
so
talking about.
oh my gosh, and we have some very close friends that have 2 girls each, so it's like hand-me-down central.
Uh-huh.
You know, they drop stuff off on the porch, and I could just see them like driving off, laughing to themselves. I dumped all that stuff on their porch, you know, and I'm sitting there like, okay,
100%.
why do I need all this shit? You know, do not need all this stuff. So we're purging a lot of that stuff. She's getting older as well, so you know, she's getting out of the little kid stuff. She's a big kid now. If you ask her, so that's
I'm a
happening.
big kid now.
Yeah, all that stuff's happening. Football season is here. Getting ready for the fall. You know, Halloween, baby. Were you gonna dress up for Halloween? You been thinking about it?
I don't know. My daughters are going as a butterfly and a bumblebee.
Oh,
So that'll be
excellent.
fun.
Let's
I don't
see
know
there.
what I'll go as.
Yeah.
I might just go as a disappointed football fan and throw on one of my team's shirts and just be a disappointed football fan.
Nice.
So
sweet.
What about you?
I do not know, man. We'll see what the story is.
Right.
New Jersey's been kind of strict, and I'm all about it. I'm all about all the rules. Let's keep it safe.
Yep.
And so it was Halloween. I don't know what we did last year. I think it was like canceled last year. I don't know what the hell happened, but who knows how it'll be. I don't know. We haven't gotten word. So there's a street over by us that's like a mile long, and it's just everyone just converges on that street. It's like 1,000 people trick-or-treating. So that used to be cool. I don't know if that's a smart idea.
That's
year.
how it was last year in my neighborhood. I don't know. We moved to this neighborhood last December, so I don't know how it'll be here. We'll find out.
Oh yeah. Good times, baby. Halloween approaches.
Yep.
So
okay, so last question before we hit rapid fire, Larry. What are your hobbies outside of fantasy football?
Blah blah blah. Man, I like to barbecue. I like to.
Okay.
I have a pool. I like to entertain as much as possible. Listen to music. I'm a concert guy. That's been killing me in the last year and a half. I've seen a little bits and pieces here or there, some of live stuff, but I haven't been to like an actual live show, which stinks. But yeah, man, basketball, baseball, soccer, all that stuff.
Very nice. Who's your EPL team? I have to ask.
I'm a Tottenham Hotspur.
No freaking way.
Yeah, baby, the Spurs.
Let's go. Come on, you Spurs.
I should I'm surprised I didn't have my Spurs hat on, man. Normally I have my Spurs hat. My brother-in-law, that's his team he roots for. My sister and brother-in-law live in London, so
okay, very cool.
With my niece, so that's a team he roots for. So I've been a Tottenham Hotspur fan since he's been on the scene. So
awesome, that's awesome.
I've been to a game. I saw them play. They played up here. They played AC Milan in like where the New Jersey Red Bulls play.
Yeah, very cool. We'll talk about that off stream again, but
Harry Kane.
They've been rough this year. So, all right, you ready for some rapid fire?
Sure, man. Rapido.
All right, the first one is super easy. If you guys aren't watching the show, then you're not paying attention. What's your favorite NFL team?
The New York Jets. Bum bum bum.
Favorite sport that is not football?
Oh man, I don't know. Baseball, I guess. Sure. I mean, I'm all in on football right now, but yeah, baseball probably.
Who's your team?
Yankees.
Okay.
Grew up a Yankees fan. I don't mind the Mets. I lived in Queens for a few years. I was 20 minutes door to stadium. So I've been a bunch of Met games.
Very cool.
Saw the R.A. Dickey 14 strikeout game.
Oh, very cool.
R.A. Dickey.
Very cool. Favorite food?
Pizza, no brainer.
Nice. Favorite sports movie?
Oh, I got some old school ones, man.
Hit me.
Breaking Away.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that one.
It's a cycling movie.
Where
it's I mean, we're talking like 1979, and I won't give anything away, but it's this big bike race, and the cutters is what they're called. It's just like these low life, like burnout guys that get
Yeah.
one dude is like a super bikes, cycling enthusiast, and he
Yeah.
brings like his ragtag buddies along to compete in this big race. So yeah, check
Okay.
that out. Check that out if you
All
have
right.
some time, man. And
Will do.
Victory. I'll tell you that another one. Victory with
Ooh,
Sylvester
Victory. I
Stallone.
have seen that one.
Yes, the Stallone. It's a
That's
soccer movie. Sylvester
yep.
Stallone. Pele's in it. It's got a great cast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
takes place in
I
like Nazi Germany or something, right?
Yep. I remember. Is it weird that I remember the scene where they break the dude's arm so he can't play?
Yes, yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
they break the cinder blocks. Or like building that.
They like put it
Don't give
between
anything
like
away. Don't give anything away.
I won't. I'll just describe the scene. They basically put it between the wooden posts on the bed frame, and they just basically like karate chop the shit out of his arm and
Oh,
break his arm.
oh my god, yeah, man. Great
So,
game. Great
man,
movie. Great movie.
Victory.
Yeah. Check it out. Victory's
Awesome.
like 1980 and 81, 1980,
Yeah,
81, and then Breaking Away, 79,
awesome.
1979. Check it out, dude. Good times.
Awesome.
Nice shorts.
All right.
Good shorts in both of those movies.
Favorite non-sports movie?
Oh, I'm a Fast Times Ridgemont High guy.
Nice.
Dazed and Confused. Those are two
Yep.
of my big jams I've probably seen. I was able to see Dazed and Confused a bunch in the theater. They had this
Nice.
$2 movie theater, so I've probably
Oh my
seen that
God,
movie
I'm
like a
jealous.
dozen times. Yeah, I mean, obviously it came out in the '90s, so it was a long time ago.
All right. Favorite band?
Black Crowes.
Nice.
Oh yeah, seen them
Favorite
a million
adult
times.
beverage?
Cold beverage. I am a man. Well, I do love ice cold water. You know, that's that.
Favorite adult beverage though?
Adult beverage. Then it would have to be probably an ice cold Guinness.
Nice.
You know, so I
Very
roll
nice.
most of the year. I will roll with Guinness, and during the summer months, I'll probably like downshift into something a little more summery. You know,
Favorite TV show?
this is tough. Like current TV show, or
Doesn't
just like
favorite
all time.
current all time doesn't
I
matter.
don't know.
You
You know
pick.
what? This one's in my head, and I was talking about it. I don't know what. Oh yeah, we just did a show, a random, because everyone's been doing like the AMA stuff, like Ask Me
Yeah.
Anything. It's all over Twitter all the time. So we did a show just that it was like our Ask Us Anything show, and we just did a whole show surrounding that, and we got some cool questions. And one of those was something similar to this TV show, and How I Met Your Mother was my pick. That was
Nice.
one of my favorite shows. During that time, I was living and working in the city too, and on the dating scene, and during that whole time frame when that show was out, so it resonated in
Very cool.
bars all the time. That was pretty much what you did. It's what you do.
Suit up.
There you go. Challenge accepted.
All right, this question is going to be legend. Wait for it. Dairy. Favorite defensive player right now and all time?
Ooh, favorite defensive player right now. I don't know, man. I like what the Browns are doing, and I really like this is I don't know. I like Myles Garrett, man. He's a ferocious beast. It's just like
Have you seen the clip on Twitter today where someone is showing a play of Myles Garrett and they're like, I swear to God, I didn't fast forward it. And he literally just goes like from here to here. And it literally looks like, I don't know, like he's in the Matrix, and I'm stealing that also from Twitter, but like it literally just looks like he shifts and you don't see hit like it. I don't know. It looks like a skip in time. Have you seen that clip today?
Like that Zay Jones in the end zone slide.
Yeah.
I did see the Myles Garrett clip from I wasn't paying attention, but I caught it out of the corner of my eye enough to know that it existed. But I haven't really checked it out. But yeah, man, he's just like he doesn't even need pads, if you ask me. You know, you just put him on the field
Yeah,
without pads. You
he
know,
really doesn't. He's a freaking monster.
yeah. So you know, that'd be my pick for current. If I had to pick favorite defensive player all
All
time,
right.
it's tough, man. All time. You know, I'm like I said, I'm an old school Jets fan, and that line, that defensive line in the '80s with Mark Gastineau and Marty
Mhm.
Lyons and Joe Klecko, who belongs in the Hall of Fame. Uh, if you asked me back then, I would probably say Mark Gastineau, but
Okay.
probably, I mean, I don't know. I just love that whole line, like Joe Klecko, Mark Gastineau, probably be between those two guys.
All right.
You know, that sack dance, and you know, he should still have the record for sacks. You know, Michael Strahan and Brett Favre did that little dance to give him the record for sacks in the season.
Yeah. All
But
right. Last question, sir.
all right,
Same thing, but offensive. Favorite offensive player right now and favorite offensive player all time.
my favorite offensive player right now, man. I wish I could say Elijah Moore, but he really hasn't.
Right?
You know, I was hoping to be able to say that by now, but I can't. You know, if it's
Give
got to
it
be,
time. Give it time.
yeah. I mean, favorite offensive player right now. I'm just like scanning all the teams in my head to see. I mean, I have Justin Herbert in a ton of places, and he was my QB1 for this year. And
Oh, wow.
I've been talking about him being like, if Justin Herbert has another Justin Herbert season, why can't he be the QB1? And you know,
Yeah.
I went on a big rant about that on the show. I've done that a couple times on the show, but Justin is a big Kyler Murray fan, so he's got, you know, talking
Both
about
of
the
them are
rushing
looking
floor
good.
and blah blah blah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, man, I've heard it in a bunch of spots, and I wasn't, and everybody I see everybody like kill each other over how
Mhm.
these evaluations of these quarterbacks, you know.
Yeah.
And back then, Herbert, way back when Herbert was the man, and then for some reason he lost a bunch of value. Same thing with Josh Allen. Like he was in college, like, oh yeah, he was always a raw prospect, but it wasn't until he came out where everyone was like, oh, he's terrible. Everyone was off of that, and nobody was really on Lamar Jackson. And I don't know. So I don't know. I like Herbert on the Chargers. I think it's a great fit for him.
Yeah.
You know, he's in a great market, and those weapons, you know, it's just they're just
Yeah.
made for him. You know, if he can
Totally.
just get a running back that can stay healthy, you
Yeah.
know, because you're always waiting for Eckler to just like limp off the field.
Yeah.
I
Unfortunately.
think that's where you're at right now.
Yeah. Unfortunately. No, I love Justin Herbert too. So I flipped on him honestly. So I saw him play. I guess it was his senior year. It was his last year in college against my team. There we go, Auburn.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and I don't know. I didn't think he had it between the ears. And then he came out and he proved me wrong, and I've completely flipped on him. Like I absolutely love him.
Yeah,
Love his ability to just take deep shot after deep shot and connect on it. So yeah,
yeah.
I love me some Justin Herbert.
I love what
So
I love what Sam Darnold's doing really fast. I want to give him a shout
yeah,
out anyway, but yeah,
absolutely.
anyway.
So who's your favorite player all time?
Um, I'm a big Wesley Walker fan. Wide receiver, New York Jets.
Naturally.
One of the you know, I was a big wide receiver guy growing up. Like, I always wanted to be a wide receiver for the Jets,
Hmm.
and Altoon, Wesley Walker, like that duo. You
Yeah.
know, he was blind in one eye. Also, so it was like he's just a big play guy. You know, so yeah, I have a couple of Wesley Walker jerseys, and
Nice.
yeah, he's probably my all-time. You know, Freeman McNeil, all those like early '80s, mid '80s Jets offensive guys. You know, Ken
Yeah.
O'Brien, even. You know, just
Absolutely.
that was like I don't know, like a big time for me in terms of like really embracing like a team. You know,
Yeah.
football team. You know, you always like because you're just like the Lions have a cool helmet. They have cool colors, and the Raiders and the Steelers were those were the big teams, and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So, it's like definitely how you like evolve into the whole like getting into football. Those colors and stuff.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that wraps up this episode of Kollectiv Knowledge. Before we get going, Larry is the co-host or host of the Dynasty Hot Sauce Pod and a ranker for fantasy football. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at FFLarryMonkey. Larry, before we go, anything you want to plug?
Oh, no, man. We drop an episode once a week. So subscribe to our pod. We're on, check us out. I always have a link tree, dropped with all your, favorite platforms, and our YouTube link would be cool if you could subscribe to that. And, just drop in for an episode if you like it, then, drop in for another one. So
absolutely,
we're always getting that content out there. So give us a follow. Check us out.
Awesome. Well, again, thanks for coming on. It was a blast as usual. I love your energy always. Never change.
Baby. Zach Wilson.
With that being said,
QB1.
Zach Wilson, QB1. This has been Kollectiv Knowledge. I'm your host, Shane Barrett. You can find me on Twitter at FFShaneB. If you like this, make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube to the Fantasy Football Collective. Cheers.